A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
My wife and I went to go see Hamilton on Broadway.
It Ain't Right Tour 2024.
Oh my God, it is amazing. We saw it. Oh, it changed me it changed me. Now, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, I ain't gonna like this.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in Des Moines, Wells Fargo Arena, December 15th, 2024. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit sebastianlive.com.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru and BMW of Des Moines. Live and on demand across Iowa everywhere. From the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy. Connected by Cellular Advantage.
Welcome to Murph and Andy. We are live on Iowa everywhere. Glad to have you with us again alongside Andy Fales and AD. I'm Keith Murphy, and Andy, ready for changing the weather?
I think so. Yeah,
That's
I know that
pause.
we need it. Well, I mean, it's going to be. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty weather. It's going to be ugly. But we know how bad that we need this, and it feels like we're ready.
Today on Sports and More, we have a big day coming Tuesday. No, not that day. Same day, different big reason. Beggars Night is dying a slow death, and people have some passionate takes on this. And Mr. Movie makes everyone scream. That's all coming up. But first, high or low since our last show? High or low brought to you by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax in Ankeny. Andy, high or low?
Well, we're going to get back to this subject in a minute, but I'll say my high is that they did move Beggars Night. They moved Halloween to Halloween. Can we just say it that way? My
Yes.
kids were so bummed about the prospect of trick-or-treating and pouring down rain, and all of the adults felt the same way about going out in those kind of conditions. And, I guess for once it's kind of nice that the Des Moines Metro has this tradition, because it at least gave you an option. Other cities that do Halloween on Halloween, I don't know that they're going to be in a position to pick it up and move it to November 1st or anything like that. But we had this option, so that comes in handy. And while 2 days ago I didn't think there was any chance that anybody would do this because there are conflicts of schedules, I was really happy yesterday morning to see that the city of Des Moines did that, and then West Des Moines followed suit, and then all of the other cities did as well eventually. So I think that's the right move, and it certainly has made my kids happy. I mean, Eddie was like just moping around after I told him.
He gets into it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, it's one of the biggest days of the kid year. There's no question about it.
Andrew's biting through his tongue right now, but AD, hang on. Just let that blood swirl around in your mouth, and we'll come back to you in a little bit.
I got takes,
okay?
baby. I got takes.
Oh, I know you do. My Wealth Charter, high, not low. I'm going high today because I am so proud to see a repeat winner of this prestigious award. Ames Water has again been voted number one.
For a glass of water when you visit our town, crack a smile.
Drink it down.
It's the cleanest around. Hooray! We love it in the city of Ames. Hooray! We love it in Ames.
Andy, what an honor. Oh, more.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
you can keep
Bring me
playing
more.
the whole show.
Yeah, it's what an honor for Ames, and you know what? It is just, it's tasty water, and now again number one in the entire state.
How'd you like to be on that panel? You just go around and taste water. Well, I mean, how refined a palate does it take to be a water taster?
More
I mean,
refined than mine, because I don't like drinking water. I know I need to.
Yeah, that's right. That is such an odd character flaw of yours, but
It is.
I mean, the wine, like the wine tasters, the sommeliers that are just that can taste the tiniest little differences. I mean, these water tasters blow them out of the water. I mean, they how refined is your palate? You're just like, I really think I like that Ames water a little bit better than the Des Moines water. And everybody else is like, they're exactly the same.
Which city in America has a song and a music video about the water?
None other than Ames. I would hope nobody else does.
It's Ames. It's Ames.
Ames is the only
For a
one.
glass of water when you visit our town, crack a smile.
Drink it down.
It's the cleanest around. Hooray!
AD's got a happy trigger finger for this video. We could hear that music or see the video at any point today. Probably won't matter what we're talking about.
Oh, what I love this is that you have all these people chiming in asking about the West Des Moines water. The West Des Moines water is notorious for eating through copper pipes. West Des Moines homeowners have like holes in their basement ceilings everywhere from where they've had to cut out holes and repair the pipes and then patch it up again with more drywall. Yeah. West Des Moines was eliminated in the first round of the water tournament, I'm sure.
West Des Moines water can't hold.
They
Ames
didn't make
water's
the
job.
play-in game.
Oh, well, congratulations again to all those involved in the Ames water being so dang good. Interact on YouTube, as many of you are right now. Email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it's Murph_Andy. All powered by the Cellular Advantage, now with 32 Central Iowa locations, and it is US Days through November 8th. You get up to $830 off with a trade-in valued at $50 or more. We know one phone that might be traded in to a Cellular Advantage location really soon. And if so, we apologize for any role we played in that. But right now, let's get the buzz on Murph and Andy.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Well, the World Series is drunk, and so is everyone at the game. So are the fans, I guess. I can't believe what happened at Yankee Stadium, and that's saying something. But Andy, these fans in the first row, two Yankee fans, first inning, they're down the right field line. Not only do they interfere with Dodgers right fielder Mookie Betts, we've seen that before, even famously at Yankee Stadium, but one fan tried to take the ball out of his glove, and the other fan grabbed Mookie's wrist. Both fans were removed, and Major League Baseball has done a recent update. Both of these fans are banned from the game tonight. They're not allowed back in. They will be given a refund. I don't even know you need to refund their money.
This surprised you?
That they tried to take it out of his glove and kept wrestling with his glove and then grabbed his wrist?
I wasn't the slightest bit surprised at this. I mean, it's surprising that the situation presents itself, but in Yankee Stadium that they would try to interfere with it doing anything they possibly could. Their team is facing elimination.
Right.
They would do anything they could. I mean, it was funny the way that it was just so deliberate. I mean, the guy's just like wrestling with his glove, sticks his hand there, pulls the ball out. The other guy's, look at him, he's grabbing his throwing hand. I mean, it's taken things up a notch, but boy, if somebody told me, hey, start of this World Series, fans at Yankee Stadium are going to interfere with one of the Dodgers outfielders trying to go for a ball, I wouldn't be surprised by that. As a matter of fact, I would kind of expect it. I don't even think they would. I think they would do that even if the Yankees were up 3-0.
You can't physically grab
you
his
can't.
wrist, though.
No, I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying it's excusable. I'm just saying I'm not surprised. That's Yankee Stadium. I think you'd see that at Fenway Park. Heck, I think you'd probably see that Busch Stadium in St. Louis. I mean, fans, it's not their guy. that's going for the ball. This isn't a Bartman situation. It's the other guy. You know, maybe there's not a camera on you that one time, and you're the one that ends up preventing the out. You got to go for it.
80's our resident.
The punishment isn't even all that bad. It doesn't seem like. I mean, they're going to miss the next game, but it's not. They're not banned for life.
Well, they missed 8 innings of that game too. AD,
Right.
You're our resident contrarian. Can you make any case for these guys being allowed into Game 5 tonight?
I mean, maybe not tonight, but I really don't think they should be like lifetime banned. I mean, some people were like shocked and appalled that this happened. And again, it's not great. It would have been worse if Mookie Betts got hurt. You can't allow things like this to happen just in case somebody does get hurt. But I'm kind of with Andy. Like, I'm surprised we don't see stuff like this more often with players going into the stands like that, because you're part of, especially in a game like that. That's a must-win game for the Yankees.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Deterrent is the main objective here, and on not letting these guys back to tonight's game. I think you have to do everything you can to not let anybody else think that they could possibly do this again. Gosh, I made the mistake on my Facebook page. I'm sure everyone has done this at some point. I read the first couple sentences of a headline, and I thought it was the Major League Baseball update that these guys were banned from tonight's game, so I posted it with the word good. And it turns out I posted the story from earlier today where they were still going to be allowed into the stadium, and people thought I lost my mind. They were like, good? What are you talking about? What is wrong with you? I'm disappointed in you.
Maybe let them in the stadium tonight, but move them back a few rows, right? Like, hey, you have to swap seats with the people 5 rows behind you, so you can't impact the game.
Got to keep them out. Got to keep them out.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot interfere with a ball in play. I mean, the ball's in play. It's if Mookie Betts jumps the fence and runs up a few rows trying to catch a ball, then I think you can make a more of an argument for the fans. But I mean, this is a playable ball for him or for anybody else too. And they're the ones that, I mean, he had caught the ball and then they're still trying to do something about it. It's not like they reached over, first and batted the ball away from his glove. The ball's in his glove. They call him out.
They're trying to wrestle it out of his glove, and then the other guy grabs his wrist.
They're mugging him. They're mugging him.
Yeah, it's New York.
It's New York City.
Yeah, New York City. Welcome
Although,
to New
how
York.
much were those tickets, though? I mean, I can't watch a game at Yankee Stadium or Dodger Stadium and see those. I mean, those luxury seats have grown. That territory has expanded in Major League Baseball stadiums to a ridiculous degree.
It has.
It's now a bunch of rows that goes all the way around the perimeter of the field. And they're
look at
club seats. They're so expensive. Can you imagine how expensive those are at Yankee Stadium right now?
And look at this guy just up the field from them in the picture. He's got one of those sliding mitts on his hand, like he might get called in to pinch run.
Yeah,
maybe the guy's ready.
Look at the woman on the right. What's she looking at?
Just somewhere else.
The ball is literally right there off her right shoulder.
This guy's ready to steal a base, or I don't know, maybe a wallet.
She's with one of those guys and is just looking the other way.
Just like
she's like, God,
I'm not
I let him
banned.
drink too much. Yankees win 11-4. Game 5 is tonight. The Dodgers lead it 3-1. Freddie Freeman has homered in all 4 World Series games, and I think it goes back to previous World Series too, his streak.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 games in a row because he had homered
incredible
in the previous World Series that he played in. I mean, he's just clutch. There's no doubt about it. He wasn't playing all that well, and now he's just money.
The stand-up to cancer moment of silence was very moving, as it usually is, although it was interrupted by a Yankee fan audibly yelling, "Freeman, you suck," as Freddie Freeman is holding up a stand-up to cancer sign about his mom, who died of cancer when he was 10 years old. So just an all-around bad look for Yankee fans last night
again,
at New York.
That's not something that surprises me.
There was a nice tribute here to our friend and colleague Matt Kelly, he was pointed out. Matt ran cameras on some networks in addition to being a sportscaster. And one of the cameramen last night held up Matt's name on the Stand Up to Cancer. Ray Cole and John Walters posted that photo, which I appreciated. And we mentioned earlier that we also lost our colleague Brad Pouch to cancer. So we all agree we need to stand up to cancer. And it's a good point, a good time to just give a shout out to our friend Bryce Miller. Tell him we're thinking about him and standing
That's
up
not
to
Bryce.
cancer. No,
No,
that's
it's
not
Bruce
Bryce,
Bochy
but-
holding up Bryce Miller stand up to cancer sign in last year. I guess
There
it
you
was
go.
the All-Star game.
Yeah, nice pull there, AD.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, hey, good job.
Two of my
That's,
guys, Bryce Miller, Bruce Bochy.
all
Love
in
both
one
those dudes.
photo. Yeah,
Right.
how about that? So we're thinking about you, Bryce. We're always thinking about you, and we're proud of you. All right, let's move to the talker of the day. It's not Yankee Stadium. It's no Beggars Night in Des Moines, West Des Moines. Andy, where else? Who else has canceled this curiosity that the rest of the world doesn't understand, known as Beggars Night, where kids go trick-or-treating the night before Halloween?
Every community that does Beggars Night canceled it. Yeah, or didn't cancel. They just moved it to Halloween night. It was kind of a slow trickle at first. The city of Des Moines went first, and then I got a call from Russ Trimble, the mayor of West Des Moines, who I know well. He was just letting us know that West Des Moines was already in talks about doing the same thing yesterday morning, right after Des Moines did that. And then at the same time, he's on a text chain with, the mayors of Clive and Waukee and Urbandale and Johnston. And, they're all talking about the same thing. And the chips started falling really, really quickly. But finally, and like in the afternoon, I'm rewriting the newscast like every 10 minutes to change,
Right.
rewriting the 5 o'clock newscast. At one point it was Runnels and Polk City and Pleasant Hill that were the holdouts. And then Polk City says, nah, we're out. We're going to do it on Halloween. And then Runnels was like, nah, we're out. We're going to do it on Halloween. And Pleasant Hill is hanging tough.
Yeah, they are not backing down.
They
They're
are
like,
not
we
backing
are
down.
having Beggars Night.
No, and they've got like multiple city officials that are posting on their Facebook page.
Your kids won't melt.
Yeah,
Your
and then
kids won't melt. Man, did that rub some people the wrong way.
Pleasant Hill mayor comes out with a pretty smarmy post. I was really surprised. And I've met her. I did a story with her for RVTV. She's really nice. She works her butt off, man. She does the Make-A-Wish Foundation and works at the Metro Waste Authority landfill. And then she's the mayor of Pleasant Hill. On top of that, she's busy. She's busy. She's an overachiever. And maybe that makes a little bit of sense that it's somebody like that works that hard would be like, it'd be fine. But it just didn't make any sense because you have this option in the Metro. I mean, we do this Beggars Night thing the night before. You could pick it up and just move it to Halloween, and there are all these surrounding communities that trick or treat on Halloween. It's not a big deal at all, and you were a kid, right? I mean, you understand, you remember. And people were jumping in there. Oh, man, when I was a kid, we used to trick or treat in all sorts of weather and snow and rain. We didn't go bitching about it on Facebook. And, you're like, you know what? Hey, if you were a kid and that option was there, would you have taken it? Hell yes, you would have taken it. It wouldn't have even been a vote. So, and also
treating a tornado.
Yo, man, we used to go out. And then there's some people that, are on the far other side and they're just alarmists. They're like, it's dangerous weather tomorrow night. These kids could get killed. But,
It's
it is a little, that was a little odd because, Pleasant Hill has had its share of severe weather tornado. So I don't, they're not really in the position to mess around with stuff like that. I don't know that anybody is saying we're going to get something like that, but they're talking about maybe 2 inches of rain. That's a lot. Here's the Pleasant Hill mayor's post. Let's just check this out. I shared it on my page. Great news for all you joke tellers and cavity seekers. You now have options. A good review of government policy is below in the information from the city and why if your elected officials are following the rules correctly, you can't just wave your fairy godmother wand and change a date.
Jeez.
Now, all of the other cities somehow were able to do that. Also, many school activities, sports, and other organizations already changed their schedules for the regularly planned Beggars Night. That's true. Unless you're made of sugar, you won't melt. I sure didn't when I was out trick-or-treating growing up. Oh, there you go. The uphill both ways
there it
argument. One more piece of information, and man, this pissed off Brett McIntyre over in Polk County Emergency Management weather. One more piece of information we would take very seriously. The National Weather Service and Polk County Emergency Management have not issued an alert to local governments about the weather. Go on whatever date suits you. The city that has it available looks like our neighbors Altoona and Des Moines are available on Thursday for your joke sharing and treat gathering. Well, Polk County Emergency Management did put out a weather alert about that. And they were on it all day, and we were talking about it. And, even if they're not talking about a monsoon, you're still talking about significant rain on a night where everybody's walking around outside, and you have this built-in option to just move it one night to Halloween, where it's supposed to be anyway. And it's, no harm, no foul. But anyway, it was by 6:00 they had moved it. Was it in time for the 6:00 news? No, it wasn't.
I think so. You were in that car wash of newscasts, so I don't remember when
I think it was after 6. It was like 8:00. They went ahead and changed that. So we had it updated for the 10:00 news. I feel like the news has gotten out there pretty well with social media and the regular media all kind of getting on this and passing the word around. I feel like we've done our jobs and everybody is aware of this change.
Yeah, it was kind of an unforced error, but now it's corrected. Let's go to a quickie poll presented by WCI Pools and Spas, and it is on Beggars Night versus Halloween versus Saturday, the new kid in town.
Let me point out why we're kind of doing this right now too, because so tomorrow, the city of Des Moines and the city of West Des Moines, and maybe others, they will begin releasing a survey to citizens asking for their input about what they would like to do with trick-or-treating in the future. Should we try to keep this stupid Beggars Night tradition going? Should we move it to Halloween like normal people? Or should we, do like, a number of towns have done, Perry and Dallas Center and Bondurant, and move it to the Saturday before Halloween, so you can always have it on a night where you don't have to worry about work or school the next day. So that's why we're putting that out there.
Is it time?
I didn't know that. I was just interested in what people had to say.
Yeah.
And there's actually more motivation to vote responsibly.
Is it time to do away with Beggars Night? Yes, move it to Halloween. Yes, move it to Saturday. Or no, keep Beggars Night.
AD, you've waited long enough. Go tell us about your vote and why.
Yeah, keep Beggars Night. I don't understand why people get so upset about this. It really doesn't make that big of a difference. My second place vote would clearly be to move it to Halloween. I think moving it to the Saturday before is really stupid. But this year proves why it's good to have it on Beggars Night. We have another option. If it's not going to work on Wednesday, you can do it on Thursday. If we were only going to, it would be much harder to move it back a day, right, than it is to move it forward a day. And you're not going to move it into November. I like having Halloween night for other things. Like, we can't now go to our church concert on Halloween night, which we're really looking forward to. And Charlie was going to sing in it and all of that. We can't go now because we have to stay here to trick or treat, which is, it's fine. That's a choice we have to make. But I guess the biggest reason I'm pro Beggars Night is I don't understand why everybody else cares so much about this. It's such a big topic. Like, these surveys going out to Des Moines and West Des Moines, they're going to overwhelmingly say move away from Beggars Night. Our poll is going to overwhelm, and people are pissed about this. I don't get it. It's just a different night of the week. It's all made up anyway. Halloween's not a real thing. It's all
It's
made
the
up.
uniforms of holidays.
It's all
People
made
get
up.
so worked up over
If you have to do
uniforms.
Christmas on the 22nd, it's not a big deal.
Remember on our previous show the amount of debate there was about Iowa State's entrance song onto the football field? I mean, that's really not that big a deal, but people do get passionate about things like this. This one is probably bigger than that because it does impact a lot of
Halloween is really, really important in America. I mean, it is a really important day. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is one of the probably two most important days on the kid calendar.
I hope not.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. Christmas and Halloween? Hell yeah. Right there. Maybe your birthday. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also become a huge thing for adults, and, you know, they mostly do that on the weekend. But I just think that, yeah, I mean, they have you have a huge Halloween party.
Excuse the party. That's America,
There
man.
is
What
no
is it?
reason to do this dumb Beggars Night tradition. There is zero reason. It started on I'm sure what was bullshit in the 30s about vandalism, too much vandalism. Tell me that wasn't some group of Karens that got together and said, well, we
1930s
need
Karens.
to cut down on these teenagers. I will fool them. We'll move it to the night before. That'll get them. That is so antiquated. It's so silly. And people come in from out of here and they're like, what the hell is going on in Des Moines? The weird thing is that it's like, I think some area of Ohio does that too or something. But what's so strange for me is I've had like the weirdest Halloween experience in my life, because growing up in St. Louis, we told jokes to get candy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lived for 3 years in Wisconsin and thought it was a little strange that the kids wouldn't tell any jokes, but I was just like, maybe they're just cold. But then I come here to Des Moines and they tell jokes again. And I just figured that's the way everybody did that. But it turns out I think Des Moines and St. Louis are the only places in the country that do the joke telling.
Yeah, we did not do that.
Weird?
Now, Andy, did you walk up and say trick or treat and then tell the joke? The only thing I remember from my childhood is you would say trick or treat. And even that at times seems to be in danger. How many of us have experienced...
We would say trick or treat. No one
and then
gave
tell
you
the joke?
No one gave you an answer. No one would be like, trick.
Treat. I'll give
But
you
you
a
did say it. Because now what we're
we
dealing
just
with
be like
a lot,
trick or treat. It was like
you'll
saying
have a
Merry
kid
Christmas.
that will walk up to the door, knock on the door,
Yeah.
ring the doorbell, and then just stand there. Just stand there and stare at you. Not trick or treat.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about 2-year-olds or 3 adorable kids that maybe didn't listen to mom and dad and go, I'm like 10, 11 years old. just
Andrew,
stand there.
you'll agree with this. Murph's reports of kids with bad banners on
awesome.
Halloween every year is
Yeah.
one of my favorite things
I
of the
agree
year.
completely. And yeah, you can do it whatever night you want. Don't get rid of my jokes. The jokes is the best part, other than the
Do you have a
candy,
good
I
one?
guess. Yeah, knock knock.
Who's there?
Yoda lady.
Yoda lady who?
Why you yodeling?
Yeah. What are you, in Austria? Yeah, jeez. I know. There are good jokes, and there are some that are too long.
Well, and Murph,
Eddie
you're
would
the
tell
one
jokes
that
that
you used to tell like morbid jokes to people.
Yeah. Didn't Colin talk about a monkey getting shot out of a tree?
No. He said, and we were never right with these neighbors again. And I don't know who taught it to him. And he was really small. He was probably 4. He's like, want to hear a joke? Yes. Why'd the monkey fall out of the tree? I don't know. Why? Because he was dead. Just looked at us as parents like we were awful. And in that moment, we kind of were, because that's when we should correct him. But I didn't see it coming, and neither did Jenny. So we're laughing. Like that uncomfortable laughter you have as a parent sometimes, like, I need to do a correction here and not encourage the kids, but that is kind of funny, and I didn't see it coming. So you're kind of laughing and trying to control the laughter, not have the kid be reinforced to tell another joke like that. Yeah, we live that. Speaking of Halloween, Andy, we know Dwayne Wade's costume this year. He just needs to go as his own statue.
Oh man, these statues just what are they? What is the batting average for these statues actually looking like the real people? It's about 250, I'd say, right?
Yeah, it must be really difficult because so often, remember the Ronaldo statue, the Lucille Ball statue, among others. But this one,
Brandy Chastain statue.
Brandy Chastain,
looked like a jack-o'-lantern.
Looked like Jimmy Johnson. This is not a bad statue unless you know it's Dwayne Wade, and then you're like, that looks nothing like Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. No,
looks like Morpheus.
And it's always such an awkward situation because the person is there at the unveiling, right? Which not only puts that person on the spot and like makes them lie and be like, oh, I love it. But it also gives you this direct, immediate comparison between the statue and the person, right? I mean, people don't even have to Google search. The guy's right there.
Dwayne Wade could not hide it.
We don't make statues of people we don't know what they look like, right?
Dwayne Wade was just looking around trying to not, but you could read his mind. He was like, oh.
And somebody put like hundreds of hours of work into
that's why
this thing.
that Crazy Horse monument in South Dakota is so killer, man. It's just like, there is no picture that exists of Crazy Horse. So the sculptor's like, oh, it looks exactly like him. Prove me wrong.
That's right. That's who you want to do a sculpture of. Someone you can't dispute.
Julius
Certainly
Caesar.
not someone.
Yeah.
Crazy Horse wasn't showing up to his statue unveiling.
No, you're long gone.
You're safe there. All right, Tuesday is a big, important day in the United States of America, and maybe more so than we're used to here in Iowa because the college football rankings come out for the first time. And the first time since we've gone to the 12-team playoff. So if Iowa State takes care of business Saturday afternoon, homecoming against Texas Tech, the Cyclones should be easily in that top 10 as the college football playoff rankings are released. And
can this be my story next Tuesday? Can I be on this? Can I do the live shot from Jack Trice Stadium?
No. I think you're working on voting integrity, aren't you?
No, on those constitutional amendments to the Iowa Constitution. I'm on those.
I saw the list.
Only slightly more interesting, yeah.
All right. So, college football playoffs. So these rankings will be released. It'll bring about great debate. It won't mean a whole lot yet, but we know this from doing our show for so many years. 2015, when Iowa is in the top 10, when we have a team that could make the playoff, and now it's not 4 teams, it's 12 teams. So this will be pretty cool.
It will be, and it'll be, the best part about it is it will give us this huge basket of sports talk fodder, right? I mean, we'll be able to dissect this 25 different ways. All the teams in it and just out of it have immediate talking points, debate. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. And it's the stakes are higher. It's more inclusive. It's got, it's just got a ton of mileage too, right? I mean, we can ride this thing all the way until the playoff starts and just really kind of there's just more elements to it. It's deeper and more fun.
Iowa State can go 8-0 for the first time.
Whether you're 5-2, 4-3, 7-0, like it kind of goes out the window because the reality is you're defined by how you play in November. And, you want to be in a position here to be in the mix. The years where you felt like, man, you reached your full potential, you were actually able to be your best in the month of November.
We know we have 5 games left, and we know that, there's so many things in front of us that we could go, achieve. And Coach Campbell always brings it up to us because it does give us momentum to go out there and play our best game.
That is Matt Campbell and Rocco Beck, the quarterback. That video from Mark Freund at WHO 13. And I think we know what we're going to hear about what we're going to hear each week. But yeah, don't look too far ahead, man. Don't. You saw what happened with UCF. The win probability was down to less than 1% late in that game.
Yeah, and a loss to one of these teams. I mean, that's the problem with having this schedule. A loss to one of these teams is going to be a free fall for Iowa State. I mean, it really is. And, Iowa felt this in 2015. There's just a line out the door of people, nationals, that want to doubt you, and want they already doubt you, but they want proof that they're right for doubting you. And they're going to go nuts if Iowa State loses.
Kirk Ferentz says that Cade McNamara has a concussion. We kind of guessed that would be the case, right down to what the actual injury is, not doubting that he has a concussion. I don't think they're making up that he has a concussion, but it is perfect cover to make the switch early in the week. Don't have to have the drama play out of the stories of the speculation. Brendan Sullivan is QB1 and should stay QB1 for a while. Here is Kirk Ferentz and Sullivan.
You got to take the confidence and take the things that you did well from that game, but also you kind of got to forget about it, move on, because this is a new team, new game, and being a starter is a little different than coming in halfway through. So, take both from it.
He's a guy who commands respect through performance, and I think it seems very apparent that players really like him. They support him. Obviously, same thing with Cade. He's a captain, and so you got 2 guys there that are really working at it and doing a good job there. But yeah, it's and he got his opportunity, bigger opportunity Saturday, and did a really good job with it. But every week's an adventure, just like all of our guys, just like all of us. But yeah, I'm confident he'll do a great job.
A video courtesy of John Sears at WHO 13. And this is a perfect situation for Kirk Ferentz, Andy. He can pay the respect that he clearly feels for Cade McNamara. He still's voted captain by his teammates this week, even though he's not going to play. And you move the guy who made it readily apparent that the fans were right for weeks, that Iowa's offense presents more of a problem for defenses if you've got a quarterback who can move the way Sullivan can.
Yeah, this is a situation that allows us to keep being Iowa nice.
That's a good way to put it.
And move on. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, the point is that the change has been made, and concussion is something that is very serious and very common in the world of football. So who knows if he's ever truly okay to play again for Iowa. And in the meantime, everybody's going to be okay because you've got Sullivan that you can move right onto, and then you just totally turn the page, stop talking about it, and which is really what we should want to do. Let's stop talking about this, ancillary situation. And, you change the player on the field. And for however that came about, it doesn't really matter. He's on the field now. And you really feel, I think if you're an Iowa fan, like, okay, now we can truly see, now we've been here before, but now we can truly see how good this team can be. Now the question is, what kind of coaching is he going to get? And is he going to keep getting better in that position? Or did we see his best game already?
Most fans are realistic that Brendan Sullivan also has limitations. There's a reason Northwestern kind of encouraged him to leave, but there's absolutely no disputing that his ability to run opens things up more, gets everybody out of the box a little bit more. opens it up for Caleb Johnson, presents more challenges for the defense, and suits new offensive coordinator Tim Lester's plan better. So it's a positive for the Hawkeyes. Don't forget, send your Grimaldi's fan photos to Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. That's the email address. We will pick a winner of the $50 gift card for fan photos to Grimaldi's. That is coming up this Friday. Doesn't have to be a recent photo. Doesn't have to be from any particular sport. Can be whatever you think of as your favorite fan photo. Send it to us. We'll pick another winner Friday. Time now for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Hey, there we go. It's Throwdowns. You guys ready to throw it down?
Yeah, ready to throw it down. If you're over your anger about Halloween, let's do it.
I'm so upset. Andy, Iowa State had a close call with below 500 Central Florida in their last game, but the Cyclones found a way to win. Does that game make you more or less confident that the Cyclones can win out?
It makes me more confident. You could see that this team has a true crunch time gear. Basically, you saw the 2-minute offense. It wasn't against a great defense, but that's a Big 12 defense. I don't know that they have a great defense in front of them the rest of the way. It lets you know that they are capable of that, and they did a number of things really well in the final minutes of that game. Now, it absolutely did not solve what has been a real problem for them lately in Big 12 play, and that is getting off to these lousy starts where they're playing way below their potential and letting a team get really settled. And, I think, even the most casual fans can look and say, look, you run into a team that's better than that, or a few of the other bounces don't go to your way, you play like that, you're going to lose because of a start like that.
I think it helps on a couple of levels. One is it's an immediate attention getter for the coaches to use on the players the following weeks, because we have a couple of weeks between games here where it's like, look, you're gonna mess around and find out if you play like that again. We can't have a slow start like that. Rocco Beck knows he needs to play better for 3 quarters than he did against UCF. So when you have an undefeated team, these are still young men, and young men get cocky and overconfident sometimes in high school, but in college as well. And sometimes they need to be reminded that, one off night and this can all crumble. And you're in the Big 12, so you don't want it to crumble. You want it to control your own destiny because you suspect that this TV show that the Big Ten and SEC largely controls is going to heavily favor those two conferences. So control your own destiny, and it's a chance for Matt Campbell and his coaches to remind them, you can't play like that again. You got away with it because you were nails in the fourth quarter, but don't let that happen again. And then the other part of it, the second step of it is, when you find a way to win, when it doesn't look like there's a chance you're going to win late in the game, and ESPN is saying 99% probability you lose, and you still win, that reinforces that you're not out of any game. So I think for a couple of reasons, this ends up being a net positive for Iowa State since Iowa State escaped.
All right, Murph, Kirk Ferentz needs 4 wins to tie, 5 to pass Woody Hayes for most wins as a Big Ten coach. The Hawkeyes have 4 games plus a potential bowl this year. At the end of this season, where will Kirk Ferentz rank?
I think he'll end up being tied. We're counting the bowl game as well.
Yeah, yep.
Although,
because it's not Big Ten wins, it's wins as a Big Ten coach. So non-conference games, bowl games.
Yeah, I can't see Iowa running the table. It's possible. Don't see it. And the bowl game is, Iowa's going to be in a bowl game that next to no one cares about. And that's going to be new. And I was at the bowl game last year, and not a lot of people cared about that. But Tennessee cared about it apparently more than Iowa did, because Tennessee trucked Iowa in that game. That was a total mismatch. So the bowl game is kind of an unknown right now. I mean, will Caleb Johnson play in a bowl game?
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. But it feels to me like tie at best.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. I think tie at best. I mean, we got a lot of wind in our sails. It's funny, going into the Northwestern game, everybody said that, right? Oh, If we just get a win here, we know it won't mean anything, but it'll make us feel a little better. It made everybody feel a lot better, a whole lot better, especially because they switched the quarterback. And so I don't know. We need to check ourselves down a little bit. This team is still not what it has been in the past. I mean, the defense has some issues, but they just don't have the Big Ten monsters in front of them. And there's no Indiana, there's no Illinois. Why can't they win?
It's Sully time, baby. They're going 5-0. Ferentz will be the leader at the end of this year.
Mark it.
Mark the tape. All right, Andy, RIP to Beggars Night. We will trick or treat on Halloween this year. If you could have only one, do you pick chocolate or fruit-based candy?
Why are you doing this to me?
We asked the tough questions here on Murph and Andy.
It's not a tough question. I'll go first.
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
it's chocolate. It's absolutely chocolate.
Yeah.
And if it's got peanut butter in it and it's called a Reese's Cup, all the better.
Yeah.
Only someone crazy like John Sears would pick fruit candy, and that's why he's about to be voted out Tuesday.
I think that I could make an argument either way, but since Murph picked chocolate, I'll go fruit. There's more variety there. You got the Skittles, you got the Sour Patch Kids, you got the Gobstoppers, you got those Tootsie Roll fruity ones are amazing.
Yeah.
We're losing viewers with this take.
Yeah, the worst part of a Tootsie Pop is the Tootsie inside.
Yeah, the Tootsie Pops, other than the brown one, which sucks.
Yeah, because it's chocolate.
The dark red Tootsie Pop is great.
Yeah, chocolate sucks. Give me fruit candy all
What?
day.
There's no way I'm joining you on that.
Chocolate sucks.
Oh,
that's
Chocolate's
your take.
Worse than trick-or-treating on
Chocolate
Halloween.
sucks.
Terrible. You want to know what just a big crock of bullshit is? Let me give you a
chocolate sucks.
No, the 2-piece Milky Way or Snickers bar, the big bar, they split it into two. Like you really are just going to eat one of those pieces.
No way.
Like some people, because people are like, oh yeah, I'll buy this. I'm only going to eat half of it though. And it's split in half for me. So I'll just eat it. Bullshit. You're going to eat that whole thing. You do every single time. Honestly, you might pause for a couple seconds more than you would with one giant big king size bar. But come on, man, you're eating that whole bar.
All right.
That's throwdowns.
Confluence, the official beer of Murph and Andy. You could have a Confluence on what was Beggars Night, but is now called Wednesday.
Just pouring down rain right now here at
Yeah,
my
I was
house.
going to say,
my gosh.
I got a window open. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
yeah,
it's hot out on October, 30th, but still it's pouring down rain. More bad weather is coming. All right, thank you, Confluence. Let's get some more.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Okay, finally, a bad day for the patio at Either Or. But as you can see, they got plenty to do inside. Absolutely beautiful restaurant. Go get yourself an old fashioned. Take everybody out tonight to Either Or. Maybe just make it a date night. Stay off of that patio. Yeah, but don't bring the dog tonight. But go inside and get that smash burger there. All right. So in Des Moines, a doorbell camera saw and heard everything. A kid spilling the beans to her neighborhood friends about mom's upcoming colonoscopy.
One of them is home, but she's gonna poop like crazy, okay? No, I'm not. Stop. It's not funny. She has to get surgery when it's over. It's not funny at all. So you can't play? Well, I can ask. Okay, she already started. Well, I can't stop Latin. She started already. Oh, it's bad. I can't start that. Yeah.
This cute kid, I felt like she was talking directly to me. It's not funny. Don't laugh.
Right there.
I'm over here laughing.
Well, the mom's name is Brandy Lister, who clearly has a great sense of humor. She put this out. And, hey, Brandy, we have been there, okay? We are not laughing at you. We are laughing with you, okay?
Yes.
The Night of 1,000 Waterfalls is one that is unforgettable.
And worth it.
and worth it. It's very
Saves
important.
lives.
And if your kids hear about it, they're going to laugh. My kids absolutely laughed. They're going to laugh. All right, last Thursday, the Marshalltown Fire Department at approximately 9:15 p.m. was dispatched to the Super 8 motel. There they found a small structure fire on the second floor. Crews entered through the first floor, climbed the stairs, and found a small fire at the foot of a guest's bed. They got it out. No one was hurt. This information provided to us by Marshalltown Assistant Fire Chief Christopher Cross. That had to be over 5 seconds.
It's always great to hear from Christopher Cross. Chris Cross. What did Chris Cross sing, AD?
Jump.
They wore their pants backwards, right?
Oh, yeah.
Always
great to hear from Michael McDonald.
Yeah, Michael McDonald in on that. Yeah, he was in on everything for a while. I had the most range. That guy's voice could get so high. All right. The rest of the band was getting so high, too. They are the Doobie Brothers. Hy-Vee is eliminating more self-checkout lanes at more of its stores. The Urbandale store, which is one of the biggest in existence, now has 0. Took them out.
Yeah, this was shocking to me the other day when I went to do my normal self-checkout and it wasn't there anymore.
I like the self-checkout when I don't have a lot of stuff. Target and Walmart also cutting down on these. We talked about that before. I think it's as simple as people are stealing stuff. They're scanning lower-priced items and putting those in the bag and not the higher-priced items. I mean,
I thought it would be those people that just can't figure it out and hold the line up. But
I'm sure that's one of the other things that's a problem with this. I mean, because, people go in there and you're like, oh. Grandma, you got no business in here. Get out of the self-checkout. You're not ready for it.
It's too intense for you, Grandma.
These are not organic bananas, but the machine thinks they are. A man named Jason Halkias visited his 224th and final Pizza Ranch restaurant yesterday in Sioux Center.
Wow.
He started the effort to visit all Pizza Ranch locations in the country back in 2014. So during the final stop yesterday, he was greeted by a supportive staff, a goodie bag, and his favorite pizza, a stuffed buffalo chicken.
That is good.
Yeah. Followed up the meal with 5 wet wipes, 2 Altoids, and a huge shit in the Casey's bathroom down the street from the Pizza Ranch. Subway is being sued over grossly misleading ads. And we're going to have to make this one the last one, guys, okay?
All right.
Grossly misleading ads are being sued over this. Okay. Let's see if there's any traction. No, they're saying the subs, toppings-wise or content-wise, this is about content, don't look anything like they do in the advertisements. They don't have nearly as much meat, specifically. So here's an advertisement, and here is a picture from somebody who just gotten one of the subs at Subway. Look, I get as angry about the frivolous lawsuits as anybody else, but this is a pretty good point here. I mean, those advertisements at Subway make those things look like, Michelangelo built that sandwich. And
Homer Simpson.
Oh, my God. The ones that come out. I mean, I like Subway. I will smash a Subway sandwich right now if you put it in front of me. But they do look like sometimes they were, constructed in an armpit. But they could end up paying for this. I think this might actually not go Subway's way. That's your more, everybody.
Nicely done, Andy. Our sponsor shout out of the day is U.S. Cellular. And here's why. Apologies in advance. If a young man or, a gentleman brings in a tray that looks like it may have been dropped in a porta potty. If this trade-in comes in during us days, we apologize.
The guy in the background's like, can you feel it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody. Presented by P&P Small Engines.
Yes.
Why do I have to follow that segment every week?
Oh, because this is what P&P Small Engine has asked for in terms of placement. P&P would like you to be right behind something that's an attention getter, and there it is.
Wow, that's a good off-the-cuff answer there, Murph.
He couldn't follow my segment?
Hey, get your yard cleaned up now. You can barely even... Kids are going to have trouble getting to our front step. That's how many leaves we have out in the front yard right now.
Look at this picture. I stopped to see Jeff yesterday, and he was out playing with one of the toys.
He's not selling those things now, is he?
It looked like it was. It looked like it was for sale. It's slightly used now.
That's not going to fit on the showroom floor.
He'll sell you anything.
He's out there, and then he's like, "Well, how do I find Murph and Andy on my phone? I can't find." Like,
jeez,
we'll do a little tech call later. But
we have had to help some people, and then once we show them, you can watch on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, X, whatever, or you can watch it later on iowaeverywhere.com or all the many places the show is placed. But many people are like Herky the Cat, who writes, this show is so much better on YouTube than on the radio. So more and more people are watching on YouTube or watching it later on YouTube. So
is there some way you could just remind us all, it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, so we get like a little beep or something?
It should drop onto your phone if you're a subscriber.
What if I'm working?
Just stop working. And check out the show live, or you can watch or listen.
You don't have to do it. Yeah, you don't have to watch it live, Mike. You can watch it later on.
Yeah,
we'll show you how to do this later on. Jeff knows how to do this. He's been listening to these shows. He knows how to do this.
What's going on?
He might have just been harassing me. I don't know.
He probably is.
He can't hear it over the sound of that giant front end loader that he's driving around his parking lot.
He turned it off. Otherwise, we couldn't have had a conversation.
Yeah.
All right, Mike Woody is with us. He is Mr. Movie, as you all know. And our out-of-the-box topic this week, in honor of Halloween, is the best scream in a movie. Now, notice the distinction there. Not the best Scream movie, which also has a good scream in the movie. Maybe one of you picked that. It's not what I picked. But just the best scream in a movie. And I'm going with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the original Predator. That scream was heard on another planet. That's a loud scream. And then,
where's the line between scream and shout?
Good question. I don't know. I'm not the movie critic. Mr. Movie, where is the line between scream and shout?
I think that one crossed it. That was more of a shout than a scream. I mean, it started as a scream. Andy's right. And I hate saying Andy's right.
And I don't know you want to hear Schwarzenegger's scream, or that maybe he's even capable of it.
He'd scream with a slight accent.
Yeah, an Austrian scream. All right, my choice is a man pulling off a legitimate scream. And of course, this is my pick. It's Daniel Stern in Home Alone.
That's a scream, and that scream would make its way to a Kansas-Iowa State game, courtesy of Dave Zavolinsky.
Oh yeah, it became the Screaming Eagle. Yeah, that's that's a good choice for another day.
Yeah, that is good. Mr. Movie, what do you have?
I'm going to go back to what I consider one of the top 5 horror movies of all time, which is The Shining.
Ooh.
And Shelley Duvall is locked in a bathroom, and Jack Nicholson comes to the door, and he wants in. Wow. It went on a lot longer than that, but she was terrified, and for good reason.
And you just feel so sorry for her to begin with there.
Yeah.
I mean, she just doesn't look like a woman that is going to be able to get through a situation. She ain't no Linda Hamilton.
No, perfectly cast for this role.
Have you got time for like a 20-second story?
Sure, we do.
I'm in New York City. I'm at a Lifetime party. This was back when I worked at the cable company. And I'm looking for Blair Brown, who was in Days and Nights of Molly Dodd at that point. I kept running into Shelley Duvall and, of all people, Dr. Ruth. It's like,
who's really tiny.
Really
she
short.
is very tiny.
Yeah.
And so I'm like backed up against like this big cake that Lifetime's got for their anniversary, and there's lights on it. So the whole back of my suit is just covered with frosting.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it was bad. So,
all right. Good anecdote, Mr. Movie. AD, what do you have for Scream?
Yeah, we kind of all went with like classic movies. I did as well. I went with Jurassic Park when the T-Rex first breaks through the fence and the little girl comes face to face with him.
Don't move. You can't see us if we don't move.
Which, again, I think is a reasonable response.
I think that is the most.
In a bathroom.
That's the most justifiable Scream in movie history. There.
Yeah. And the dinosaur almost screams too, but it sounds a little bit more like Schwarzenegger and Predator, so may have crossed over that line to yell.
Exactly.
Oh man, just terrifying there. It's
a
T-Rex.
All right,
Right
I
there.
have seen Venom 2. Kids dragged me. I didn't see Venom 1. Venom 2 admittedly was more entertaining than I thought. My bar was really low. I love Tom Hardy as an actor. I find him really interesting. Loved him in Warrior and the Batman 3, whatever, Dark Knight Rises, I guess it's called. He's a great actor. He was even in Band of Brothers in a small but crucial part. But I hope this is the last time we see him in something like this. I think he should be beyond this. But Venom 3, The Last Dance, low expectations. What did you think, Mr. Movie?
And it delivers on those low expectations because it's not a good movie. It's not good for 1 second. And here's the other thing. They bring in this woman from Ted Lasso who plays Keeley on Ted Lasso, this dingy little woman that'll sleep with anything. And
in the movie or on Ted Lasso?
On Ted Lasso. And
Okay,
here
but-
she's playing a very prominent scientist.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sure she is. So, but this movie is just horrible. It's nothing more than a money grab. And you know what? I just need out of my contract. I said I'd do 3 of them. Let's just call this the last one. And it's
does Tom Hardy look like he's trying in this movie?
No. Why would he?
Well, he's
This is the
acting
last-
against a
it's the
green
last
screen the whole
dance.
time.
Well, he doesn't have to. So,
Uh,
but he can
what's
go
the
on
grade?
to bigger and better things. So,
C?
the grade C-, and I might
C-.
be being generous there.
All right. Venom 3, The Last Dance. Conclave, about the vote for a new pope. I think you tell me, it looks like it might be a thriller. I thought the previews for this looked good, and I thought Ray Fiennes looked like he might be great in this role.
Yeah, this first off, it's an adult movie. We haven't had one of those in about 4 months. So it's finally fall, all the summer movies, and of course Venom 3 is the perfect ending to that. But this movie is really good, and it's thought-provoking. It gets into some history of the church that may or may not be true. I don't know. But Stanley Tucci, I mean, the cast is great. So, it's just, and there was a fairly decent crowd in the theater, but I think it'll pick up as it goes along, because the word of mouth on this is really good, and the movie is really good.
I know this was based on a book that got a lot of strong reception. I guess what interests me about this is that it looks like an in-depth look inside what must be, to me, the most boring life that you can possibly have, living in the Vatican as a cardinal. I mean, I cannot imagine how boring that would be.
Yeah,
and so therefore, since you've got that premise, and that, like, you set the bar as high as you possibly can, and somehow someone with a book, writing a book about this ends up making a hit, you know that there's something really redeeming about this story.
Right.
This isn't, about a race car driver.
Yeah, there's nothing boring about this movie for 1 second. I mean,
Is it a thriller?
It's kind of a thriller, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because one of the things, I've been to the Vatican a couple of times. It's a fascinating place. I mean, it even has its own zip code. It's so much more enormous than I imagined it. And,
Right.
it goes in all directions. So it seems like, and I don't know the plot of the movie, but there could be a lot of interesting cat and mouse locations in the Vatican.
Right. Well, essentially the Pope has passed away, and now they've got all of these different little factions trying to promote their candidate for the next Pope. So it's really good.
What's the grade for Conclave? I always like to guess Mr. Movie's grades based on what he says. That sounded like an A-.
It's a B+, so you're pretty close.
B+. Okay.
Yeah.
Next week, here with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and this is by the maker of Forrest Gump.
Right.
You might have guessed
Robin
that from the
Zemeckis,
cast.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's fascinating. My son Cade brought this to my attention at the beginning of the trailer, so then I locked in on it, and then you can't stop thinking about it. It is the same exact perspective on every single shot. It's the shot you're seeing there. Now, people might be in the background or up close, might be just their face.
So they just lock down the camera?
It's a lockdown shot, the entire movie,
it's
across generations.
It's a movie about the exact same space.
Right.
Through time.
Through generations.
Dinosaurs all the way up, to present day. All the different life interactions that have happened at that exact space through time, which is
even
really
before the
interesting
house
concept.
is put up, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay, I didn't realize
So
that.
if anybody can pull this off, it's Robert Zemeckis. So, I mean, the guy has some talent.
What's the buzz? Is there any, has it leaked out at all? Have there been any early screenings?
I've seen nothing or heard nothing about, people that have seen it.
I saw just a little snippet, and I kind of wish that I did, and I always hate seeing like a review of a movie that I wanted to see, but I don't know. It just looks like a fascinating concept to me.
Yeah.
And, with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright in it, Kelly Riley from Yellowstone is in it as well. It just looks to me like too interesting of a topic to not go to see.
Well,
Mr. Movie, did Zemeckis do Back to the Future?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah, he did, because Spielberg was a producer on that.
Yeah.
Zemeckis did it,
Yeah.
directed it.
So the guy's got some skills.
He really does. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Movie. We'll look forward to your review on that next week, and we'll look forward to seeing you up on the big screen at the Palms. I'm always pleased when you jump up there, and when you're up there. You don't jump up there. You're already up there. When they show you up there and you talk about the movies and the local ownership and everything, we appreciate it.
This weekend, I'm shooting for the Jumbotron in Iowa City. So,
ooh, yeah. All right. Try to stay sober.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Murphy.
Kiss the right person if they put the kiss cam on you.
Yeah, he didn't really commit to that, but yeah, we'll look for you on the kiss cam. Thank you. Time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD Squared.
Yeah, it's powered by Game Day Men's Health. Find them in the Prairie Trail neighborhood in Ankeny, on University out in West Des Moines, and also if you're in Eastern Iowa, North Liberty. I've been working out a couple of evenings a week, and the testosterone shots I've been getting for about a month now aren't a magic cure. They're not making me lift a bunch of extra weight or make me motivated to go work out. The biggest thing I felt is I actually had the energy at night to go and work out instead of once the kids get down, lay on the couch. And so that's been a real positive change for me. So check them out yourself. See if they
Let's
can
see
do
the
something
guns.
like that for
Come
you.
on, show them. Show off the guns. Let's see them.
I'm not gonna do that. Ask me in a few months. All right. So there was a third party presidential debate over the weekend. I don't know exactly.
This.
Yeah, everybody did, except for the live national anthem by artist Loomis beforehand, which didn't go well.
For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Pretty good so far.
And the rockets, red glare. I fucked it up.
Can I go back? Can I go back, please? Bombs bursting, and then I got too nervous. Gave parole through the night.
And the rest of it was really good, and she had a good rendition, but
she can clearly sing. Just
Yeah.
it's such a difficult song to sing, and she wants to go back, and somebody's like, it's live.
And we're
And
live
so
here.
then she's like, oh, sorry, I got too
And
nervous.
she has since apologized for swearing during the national anthem. She,
Yeah.
didn't mean to do that, but yeah, you feel bad for her. But dropping an
Yeah.
F-bomb during the national anthem, that's a new one, I think.
That's tough.
Well, if
Quickie poll
Francis Scott
results.
Key was writing that in the middle of the battle, then I'm sure there were some F-bombs going off. while
Oh
he
yeah,
was putting it
Francis
together.
Scott's key, and the F wasn't just for Francis. The Quickie polls are brought to you by WCI Pools and Spas, and here are the results.
Is it time to do away with Beggars Night? The 87% say yes, it's time. Most of those people say just move it to regular Halloween like everybody else. 21% say move it to the Saturday before Halloween. And 13% are with you, Andrew.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are my
Way to
people.
go. Way to go, AD.
Them
All right,
young
that was
people.
fun. Fun show today. Thank
It
you.
was.
Thanks for being part of Murph and Andy on Iowa Everywhere. Thank you to Mr. Movie for joining us, presented by P&P Small Engine. Please like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Watch on YouTube if you like. We are Iowa Everywhere is also on TikTok. You'll find videos there, really on every platform. Use the Iowa Everywhere search. Please support the other shows out there. They're all local shows, and all of your participation helps. We are back Friday, and we hope you are too.